Hello everyone, good morning. So first of all, thank you all for the birthday wishes, messages, prayers, and everything. I just wanted to put a quick, brief summary of how yesterday went. So I had every reason not to have organized anything for my son's 8th birthday yesterday. There was so many reasons why I shouldn't have or I couldn't, but it's the month of Ramadan. I know it was going to be exhausting. I'm still tired, you can hear from my voice. And 8 is not really the number that we normally celebrate. Like in my house, we have the ages where we go all the way out, to make a big deal out of it for my neurotypical kids, let me say that. But I did a kind of a dig into and a reflection, because I do reflect a lot. If you follow a lot of my videos, I reflect a lot on what I do and the effect of what I do and what I don't do with my children, and especially with my son on the autism spectrum. And that was what led me to decide at last minute that I wanted to have this play date for him, because I have never had like friends over on his behalf. I used to have play dates. I used to do little play dates with some few friends that I knew back when he was little. It was just like one kid or two kids, to come play, because I wanted to have more social interaction. That was before COVID came, and, COVID came and we couldn't have people over and everything. So this is like the first time in a very long time. And this is the first time he'll be having like his friends that he cares about. So I think it meant a lot, because I know he turned 8 yesterday, but for us, 8 is like in the autism perspective, let me say, in our own autism journey, 8 is like our special year, I will say. Like I said, like with my neurotypical kids, so we do like 5, and we're going to do 10 with my daughter. So like we go all the way out for those, but then other little birthdays, we just celebrate them in a small way. I would say this was also in a small way, but it kind of made an impact. So I will just give you how it all went down. So I said initially, this is like the first time we're ever having anything for him, because before now he had no interest or awareness or comprehension about what the birthday is, and the whole thing, how kids get excited about birthdays, and then he doesn't really care. And I guess because of that, we also never cared. But this year, I mentioned it in my last video. I mentioned how he's becoming more aware. He's becoming more, he's doing a lot of comparison with his siblings in terms of some things around the house, in terms of what I give them, in terms of what I put in their backpack, in terms of the things that I do around him and around them. And I see him also trying to imitate some of the things that his siblings are doing, which is also a huge step. And so I thought, because of this new sense of awareness, and presence, like he's here with us, in terms of, how he's, I don't know how to explain it, but he is aware. He's not like, in his own entire world like he used to be growing up, and all of that stuff. So I thought I wouldn't want him to feel different. I wanted him to feel included. I wanted him to feel that, okay, we celebrated his sister's birthday, we can also celebrate his birthday. I wanted him to feel really special. And so I selected special people that meant a lot to him, with the help of his teacher and his facilitator, his sister, and myself. So we made those decisions, because he still also doesn't understand friendships, and this is another area where I wanted to work on. I wanted him to understand his friends, who his friends are, and we were able to identify those people who genuinely love and care for my son. And it was a very good experience having them also around yesterday. They were all adoring him. They were so sweet. They were playing around. they enjoy his attention a lot. I could see the love, I could see the affection that they all had for my son, and it was a very beautiful thing to see, because these are kids that are, his classmates in school. I don't get to see all those things firsthand, but it was a very good opportunity for me. I had about I don't have the numbers of kids I had over, but we roughly 10. I think about 5 or 6 from school. I can't really say, but so anyway, what actually happened is that at the beginning of the birthdays yesterday, he was not really getting everything. When the first guest arrived, he was really shocked, but he couldn't ask me, why is this person here? But he eventually got in. He was not interested in playing with the friend. We had a little bit of drama actually before the friend came. I posted that on my story also, on my Instagram story, because on our Saturday, our normal Saturday routines, that's when he has his screen time, because he doesn't get screen times during the week. So he always likes to have that, moments to cherish that moment. But unfortunately, I couldn't give him his screen time yesterday, because if I gave him access to the screen time, when his friends come, he won't pay attention to them. He won't be interested in anything. He will only want to sit down to watch TV. So I had to hide the TV remote and put all the screens away. And so he had like a full-blown, tantrum, and for about 30 minutes. I tried to calm him as much as possible, but after a while, when he realized that nothing was coming forth, he stopped crying and he was just playing around. I put on some birthday music to get him engaged. Then he started to see the snacks coming in. He was so excited. He will pick everything. He abused, like, I always strict with him in terms of sugar and certain things, processed foods. So yesterday he had access to so many. He ate in abundance, like he ate so much. So it was so excited at that point. Anyway, the first guest came in, and then the second guest came in, and he was still, kind of trying to get used to, to understand what was going on. But we kept singing happy birthday to him. We kept, saying happy birthday to him, for him to understand that it was his birthday. And when you tell him happy birthday, he will also tell you happy birthday. And then they came in with gifts. I guided him through to open the first gift. I think this is also the first time he will be receiving gifts, birthday gifts. This is the first time, because like I said, we've never had any kind of birthday like that. So it was a huge deal for us. And he opened the first gift, but the second gift, by the time the third gift came in, he was already excited. So once they come in with the gifts, he collects it. He opens the gift. He was already into the birthday mood. And as soon as the more kids came in, he was jumping around, playing with them. He will play a little, then he will go eat. Play a little, he will go eat. He ate so much. He played so much. He had so much fun. I was so excited. I was so proud at the end of the day. And the best part, there was no crying, there was no outburst. So how did I do that? I had to make sure that there was no music, there was no TV, there was no anything. So my house was really quiet. At a point, I thought it was going to be boring for the kids, but they didn't care. They didn't care, honestly. They were just playing around, jumping around. And I have quite a lot of toys in my house. I had the occupational therapy ball. I had two. I have the peanut one. I had the round one, the peanut shaped one. I have the round one. And I had scooters. I had some mini bicycles. I had some paintbrush, coloring, crayons, papers. There was loads of fun and activities for everyone. There were balls, so some kids were playing ball, and there was enough space to run around. So it was really, really good to see them have fun, despite the fact that, there was no, because most times, you go to normal parties, there's so much music. Sometimes they put the TV on and they put it on the, birthday songs and everything. So why I did that is because once the TV is on, even if it's on birthday songs, he likes to be selective with what comes up on the TV. So if at the end of a particular birthday song, he likes a particular song, he will want to repeat that same song again So he's going to start screaming and crying for you to just repeat one particular song, or for you not to change it. Something always goes on. Let's just be honest. Something always goes wrong with the TV. At the point, there was a kid who came to ask me if he could put on the TV. I said, I'm sorry, we can't put on the TV because of Khalil. Once I put on the TV, it was going to affect him. He's not going to play again, and he's not going to engage, and he's just going to want to sit down, and there will be a lot of crying because he will want to watch specific things. There's just so many things. And the same thing, I did the same thing with music. So it was also good because, the month of Ramadan, I didn't want a lot of, so it was very, really quiet. The kids were so well behaved. They played around. There was nothing beyond my control. I had a few help also. I had a handful of help. His teacher came with a gift. His teacher came with a gift. He loved his teacher's gift so much that he opened it immediately and started putting it together. And I was so happy. If you've not read the story of my relationship with his teacher, how we started, check it out on my website, www.fattygiwa.com. I have a full detailed story of how, we started with his teacher from almost enemies to become really great, amazing support and friends. Friends, we have a really good relationship right now. You can check that out on my blog. Anyway, his teacher was here, brought him gifts. Everyone came with gifts. His facilitator was here. I appreciate her so much. She was here to give me a helping hand, because also I had two other autistic kids. I didn't even know that one of the kids I invited was had Asperger's. So this is the interesting part of my day yesterday. Like, I invited this boy because my daughter recommended that her brother and this particular boy plays a lot, that they're so close, that the boy loves my son. And I was curious, but I didn't know this boy. I've never seen this boy. I don't think I've seen him before. I don't know him. He's a Russian boy. And so I decided to invite them, and they honored the invite. So when the parents came, I met the parents at the entrance. The boy is such a sweet, charming boy. I didn't even realize, Asperger's is a form of, it's also a form of autism spectrum. And when we had that conversation, I was talking with the parents, and we were talking about the relationship between my son and their son. And then that was when they told me, because I didn't even know, and that was when they told me, and I was like, so I had, and I already invited another child who I knew was on the autism spectrum in the class. I will get to his own story afterwards. But anyway, with this particular boy, I was fascinated. I was really impressed. That I don't know where the connection came from. It's probably, from the autism world, they connected the two of them, but they are so much into each other. They enjoy each other's attention. The boy is quite older, but he always trying to get my son's attention. They're so sweet to see their relationship together, And so I also invited one other kid in his class, not really in his class. The boy is in second grade, I think, but in another teacher's class, but on the autism spectrum. So I had the opportunity to meet his mom one time, and then we exchanged numbers. I invited her. She was so happy. She said that this was the first invite that they would get for her son, for a birthday. And then I could relate with so many things that she had to say, and I felt really happy that we were the first people to invite her. She's also newly relocated to this country, so I imagine my excitement being the first people to invite her. I feel so happy that we have to promote inclusion in any way possible, because a lot of these kids feel isolated, especially when they don't get invited to parties. And when she came, she wanted to stay the entire time, which I do a lot. Parents with children with autism, we don't go to parties and leave our children. Oh my gosh, I still stay for birthdays with Khalil. I can't leave him. But because I had extra hand, so I was able to take the boy off her hand, and I'm sure she appreciated it. She got about an hour or two to do, alone, to do some things. We all need that sometimes. So, but my facilitator was helped here to because she's also the one in charge of the children with special needs in their school. So she already knows every child and how to deal with them. She's able to manage them, and they know, and they all love her. So she was able to keep an eye on the special kids and organize some things. It was just, it was just a beautiful, I felt at the end of the day, it felt rewarding. It felt really rewarding. It felt really fulfilling, to have made such an impact by just that small little act of, throwing a play date. And the parents, when they all came, they were so sweet. I was even more excited. Like when I sent out the invite, I wasn't sure how many people will acknowledge. I think only one person didn't show up of all the people that I invited from the school. But I think that's a great thing. When you have a child like this, you don't know who's going to show up when you send out invites, because they don't have friends, they don't have that relationship, socialize, emotional relationship or socialization. It was a really beautiful moment for me. It was a beautiful moment for my son. It was the very beautiful moment for every one of us. My daughter was so happy, and she tried to not she tried to really respect, because I had that conversation with her that we were going to, this was her brother's day, so she wasn't going to how girls can be sometimes. And because she sometimes she dominates on the party by playing with the friends and everything, so I had her invite a few friends, not too much. I think she had about 2 or 3, and they had their own things going. My little daughter was everywhere. She was bossy as always, but it was just an amazing moment. I had the time to interact with all of the parents. I got to know the kids very well, and it was quite a day, and I am super happy. I'm super grateful. Alhamdulillah. I'm grateful to Allah for everything that we have achieved within this period. I'm grateful for everything, for the journey, always grateful for the journey. I hope that I'm sharing this because, I feel like, especially for parents that have children on the autism spectrum, and you also have neurotypical children, there are certain things that you have to be able to balance. You have to be able to look at some things in a different way, in order to not have a child grow up in isolation, feeling like, why are they always doing this for this child, and why do they not do this for me? And you don't know that even though these children cannot express themselves, they see you, they hear you, they understand everything that is going around, and at some point you're putting in some kind of notion in their mind. And that was everything that I thought of at that moment. And I realized that I just needed to do something for him. So it was a great one. I don't know when next we're going to have, but I believe that when next we're going to, we'll be having, also it opened the, it opened the way for more play dates. A lot of the parents are open to having more play dates because some of the kids didn't want to leave my house. Yeah. So we will be having more play dates from now on with some other kids. I'll invite them to come play. It will be a very good opportunity to socialize more, and to also to get him away from the TV. We're still working on that screen thing, but it is a hard work. It is a hard work. We had so much dramas, but honestly the dramas didn't matter. The outbursts, the emotional outbursts, the tantrums didn't matter to me. The most important thing was that that smile on his face, that he was happy and he had so much fun. So this is just what I wanted to share. So if as a parent you have a child on the autism spectrum and you have other kids, try to be thoughtful, try to be as inclusive as possible, try to carry them all along, to be able to include them, to make them not feel isolated or separated from their siblings. Do as much as you can to make them feel they're part of, or they're also part of the family. Do your best to make them feel that they are also as important as the other. Do your best to make them feel that they are also as special as every one of your kids. That way, I feel that way you're definitely raising a child to feel the love and care and affection that every child needs to know about. So I hope this message reaches or speaks to someone. Let me know what you think about how we handle the party, and let me know your thoughts, feedbacks, comments, suggestions. I would really look forward to hearing from you. Thank you all so much. Bye bye.